Greetings and welcome to the channel. If you're a first-time viewer, you're going to find out that we do a lot of different things. And of course, if you are somebody who's coming back, you know pretty much what we do on this channel. We cover a lot of different topics, from places we go to or see when we're out tooling around on the motorcycle in northwest Pennsylvania, to firearms related topics, and to adult beverages, which hang on a second, I have here something we just found over the past weekend. You'll see it, Derailed Distilleries. There'll be a full review of this on Gypsy's channel coming up later on. Not exactly sure when. Also on her channel, she covers a lot of the same things from a different perspective, and also covers some cooking and baking, dessert hacks, drinks, different mixed drinks. But today we're doing a firearms review, or actually several firearms. I've got 3 .22 caliber firearms that have been around for a little while. They've been reviewed by a lot of other channels, some undeservingly negative reviews. I don't go for the influencers out there. There's quite a few of them that I don't know what they're thinking, but at any rate, we're going to get to it here in just a second. Hang on a second. Yeah, don't call me Scully for nothing. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay. What we have today are several, or 2, I should say, Walthers products. One is the Walthers P22Q, and the other is the Walthers ppks in 22. Now, both of these guns have gotten kind of mixed reviews. Like I said, some of it not so deservingly negative. We're going to start with the P22. When this first came out, yeah, I know, it's a pretty blue color, but hey, it still works. When this gun first came out, it had a reputation of a fantastic, or I should say, as they put it, craptastic jam-o-matic. Well, we're going to put that to the test later, but I'm here to say right now that this gun, which I'm going to make sure it is clear, excuse me, well, we'll put it to the test, and I'll tell you right now, this is a very nice gun. I actually carry this gun on occasion. Yes, there's a lot of other better guns out there that more powerful, so on and so forth, but there are times where I feel 22 is perfectly sufficient for personal defense. Like I've said in other videos, 22s are perfectly adequate if your idea is to stop a bad guy, for lack of a better thing to call him, to stop him or change his mind so he stops what he's trying to do, or she, depending on, I don't want to be messing around with gender problems and all the modern day garbage. But this little gun, it's light. I gotta do it down here. It's light. It's really a fast handling little gun. I swear a lot of times I can get 5 rounds out of this faster than I can get 2 rounds out of my 9mm. Although I do prefer my 380 over that for the same reason. It's a very fast firing gun. But yeah, I have carried this. I feel well covered. I have a better way to put it. The other gun, which we all recognize as something out of a James Bond movie, the Walthers ppks in 22. And again, I'll show it clear. It's a little harder to see in there. Now this is a really nice gun. I really love this gun. I don't carry it a lot because, oddly enough, it's almost as heavy as my 357 Snubby. But it does make for a very, very fun gun to shoot. And when you're out at the range, or even if you wanted to carry it, you could. Here, let's go down here so you can see all of it. Now, both these guns are double action, single action. And what does that mean? It means that when you pull the trigger, watch the hammer a little bit. Yeah, fingers. You'll see the hammer start. I'm not going to dry fire this, but you'll see the hammer start to come back. If you keep squeezing it, the hammer will come all the way back and it'll fire the gun. And from that point on, it'll be a single action. You see the hammer's back and the trigger pull is much lighter. That one downfall of this gun is that it's a very, very heavy double action trigger. It takes a little getting used to. But it is accurate. I've gotten to the point where I can get my first round off on double action and pretty much put it right where I need it to put it. The little blue over here, as it's called, that's also a double action, single action. This one you can dry fire because that safety is a hammer block. It actually blocks the hammer from striking the firing pin. And this is what I mean by double action. Just like a revolver. And then after that shot, the gun will be, let me see if I can do that on the camera. It's a little hard. I'm kind of doing this from behind the camera. That hammer will stay back. And then a very short, trying to get my finger in the trigger guard. Very short, very light trigger pull, comparatively. But the double action on this one is much better. That's why I carry this more than I carry little James Bond Jr. here, if you have to give a gun a name. But now, the oddity about this gun is it actually costs more than my 9mm. You're kind of buying the name and the history and all that good stuff. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. And one thing I forgot to mention, this gun, actually, the safety on this gun is a decocker. Okay, you can't carry this gun cocked and locked like a 45 auto. It will fire. But what you do with it, let me get it here, is you use this lever and it decocks the gun. And then the trigger is reset when you put it back up. So it's a little difficult. The other drawback to this gun is when the slide is back on the empty on the last round and you're all done for the day and you want to drop the slide, there's no slide release on this gun. You actually have to drop the magazine. Yeah, I keep coming off the camera. It's kind of hard. My arms aren't long enough. Let's try that again. Slide back. In order to there's no way to do it. You have to take the magazine out and then bring the slide back or decock it that way. The P22, on the other hand, has a slide release. So when you're all done with the day, you can just close the slide and put her back in the box. Now, I love these two guns, and we'll see later that the reputation that they've gotten over the years may have been deserved in the early, when they first came out, but these are probably, well, at least 2 or 3 years old. And like I said, they've been out for quite a while. If you look in the box too, you'll see that I carry stingers in these guns. It's either I carry stingers or I use the CCI mini mags. I've had 0 malfunctions with either one. So those are true recommendations. But we'll see later when I go to the range the different ammos that they will be able to shoot. And I'll even throw in stuff that I know doesn't work. For example, Winchester. Most Winchester ammos don't seem to work in any of my guns, any of my 22s, except the third one. And the third one, let me close these up for a second. The third gun we're going to look at is the Heritage Rough Rider. Yeah, a little scully. Yeah, everything I got's got skulls on it, I guess. At least it seems to find their way onto it. Now this little guy, again, to show you it's clear. Nothing home. Is your old cowboy style gun, single action. Gotta pull the hammer back for every shot. This one does have a safety on it. Right there. Actually, you can watch the hammer when I do it. See how the hammer drops down? But when you pull the shit up, let's get this in focus. You see the hammer come back and leave a little bit of space. I like that. A lot of people don't like it because they say it detracts from looking like a real Colt. Well, it doesn't look like a real Colt. It's also very small for a real Colt. But this has a reputation, too, of being a craptastic gun in some people's eyes. I actually found this gun to be absolutely flawless. It shoots point of aim. Well, of course, it shoots anything you throw into it because it's not relying on recoil or the pressure of the ammunition to cycle the gun. You're doing that manually by pulling the hammer. So yes, this gun will shoot anything you stick in it. Any 22 ammo you stick in it, this thing will shoot. Maybe not as accurately as some others, but it'll still do it. I find this to be one of my favorite guns just to go out and plink with. It's also chambered in 22 Magnum. I have another cylinder for it, and then you can fire 22 Magnums out of it. So it's very versatile in that respect, and also very fun. There's also another one here, but it's not a handgun. It's the rifle version of this. That's the Heritage Rough Rider, what the heck they call it? Ranger or something like that. It's a revolving carbine. Also a very fun gun, but not part of this review because, one, I don't think I could get it on camera. It's too long. But it works on the same action as the pistol, with a 16-inch barrel and a buttstock on it. Rancher, that's what it's called. The Heritage Rough Rider Rancher. Very nice gun. I enjoy shooting it. I shoot out to 50 yards with it without any real problems. It's not as accurate as some of my bolt action or single shot 22s that I have, but for a fun gun to just go out, plink, or even hunt small game, it's a perfectly good gun for that. And this is a perfectly good gun for carrying in the woods while you're small game hunting or just hiking along. You can put the 22 Magnum cylinder in it, and you had a coyote or a rabid raccoon or some other critter that might be giving you problems, the 22 Magnum's plenty enough to put them down. I haven't had too much call to do that. I think once in my lifetime that I actually had to dispatch a rabid raccoon, and oddly enough, I was shot it with a 357, and it took 3 shots because it whistled right through the raccoon like it wasn't even there. Definitely a case of a little too much power. But these are the ones we're going to be reviewing and shooting at the range later on. I'll probably put that in another video because this one will kind of drag on a little bit too long if I do. So part 2 will be coming up, and stay tuned for that.